Hello everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at Alpha Camori Great Doubt Episode 1. So this is a game by Sherman 3D, and it should be available on the Steam store when this video goes up. If it isn't, it will be up later in the day. And I believe they're going to charge $15 for the game. I think that's right. At least that's what it is on their homepage right now. So I'm just going to jump in with a new game here. Yes, that's okay. Yes. Alright, so I will say right off the bat here, this is a game made with RPG Maker, and I think that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I know that bothers some people, but anyways, so 50 years ago the planet Earth was invaded by aliens. So we've just got kind of our intro story sequence here. God manifested in the form of a spaceship, Alpha, to save the chosen few of humanity. Alpha protected the humans with 7 angels and brought them to their new promised land, the planet Camori. Excuse me. Humans began to fight each other. Kimori thus played host to 2 warring human factions, the Bedarians, who want to reclaim Earth, and the Jinrians, who are contented with their new home. The Bedarians, led by Elder Alistair, destroy the flora and fauna of Camori. Goodness, sorry, I'm having a hard time reading these names here. To obtain powerful Kai crystals. Their purpose is to enhance the mighty robotic intelligent cybernetic armor, RICA, technology for liberating Earth from its invaders. The Jinrians, goodness, I'm gonna keep saying that. That's how I read it the whole time I was doing my playthrough of this earlier. So, the Jinrians, led by Lord Magnus, believe that Camori is their promised land and permanent home. They defend the planet with their ability to transmute into colossal indigenous Kai creatures. To rid themselves of the Jinrians, the Bedarians created enhanced human soldiers with Kai crystals called the Camorians. One such Camorian, Rick Brightheart, seeks to discover himself amidst the turmoil. And that is kind of our intro here. Alright, so we have kind of a very pretty and also kind of reminiscent of older RPG kind of landscape here. Sorry about the music. I'm going to see here if I can turn it down in just a minute. I might not be able to. Wow, the power of the robotic intelligent cybernetic armor is just awesome. Sylph, this is your last day on Camori. Nobody can flee away from my deadly beautiful high voltage beam. Rika high voltage. I wish I don't have to do this anymore. But I don't have a choice. I can't let everyone down. Buck up, cadets. What has your training taught you? Cadet Dagan, still standing. Elder Evlar, sir. One self-targeted, and I'm going in. Hell yeah, Cadet Dagan with 1 in hand, sir. Good work, Dagan. The rest of you don't even think for a moment you are indestructible. Looks like I will have to call in backup. So he has like a super suit of robotic armor, just to show us that he's the teacher. And, you know, he gets better armor than we do. Boom. Yeah. Alright, okay boys and girls, perhaps you all require further practice. I can't be using my Angel Rika to pass your field exam for you. Gather those Kai crystals and we will head home. Alright, so I'm going to kind of skip past the dialogue now. I think that's probably enough. I will just kind of explain what's going on with the story. So Dagon does not like our character. So sorry if you don't like me skipping through this, but I don't want this video to go on too long, and I'd like to show off some of the combat as well. So it is kind of typical Japanese RPG fare here, where... Alright, so this is our battle. Yep, and we can use Kai skills, key skills, I never know how to say that. I just had the same problem in Dragon Ball, but I guess I'll just say Kai. So yes, it does consume, you can kind of think of it as our mana. Again, sorry about the volume of the music. I don't know if there's any way for me to change that, actually. I think the options are on or off. So this does play out pretty much exactly like you would expect as far as like classic JRPGs go. It reminds me a lot of something like maybe Final Fantasy IV or Chrono Trigger, something of like that kind of era. So that was our first little battle here. And one thing that I want to mention is that it does look really, really nice. You know, when I say that it reminds me of those games, I don't mean just in the way it plays, I don't mean just in the way it sounds. You know, it's kind of the whole package. Like, it's got... I mean, you've heard a lot of the music now. You know, the music is reminiscent of those kind of things as well. And the art definitely reminds me of, like, a classic SNES style JRPG. So again, sorry, but I am going to click through any dialogue that shows up. I mean, you guys got kind of the basis of the story, so now we're into Chapter 1, the secret mission. And hopefully I can get control here and see if I can turn the music down. I tried at the main menu, but the only options for music were on or off. So I think what I will do is, if I don't have options for that... Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna have to turn the music off. Okay, so that is better. So now we are actually in control. Sorry about that to the developer. I've got nothing against the music. It's just very loud. So that will be that. Alright, so we've got our parents here. So kind of the big kind of crux of the story is that we are not really like the typical JRPG hero here, in that we don't actually want to, like, you know, we're not out for glory or anything. We actually don't want to be fighting. We see, like this, I don't feel like fighting Dagon. In fact, I don't feel like fighting anyone. Why? Just because we are Bedarians. So I have not finished this episode, I guess you could call it, because I believe it's got 3 games in the series. And like I said, I'm not going to read through all the dialogue. I will leave that for you guys if you want to pick the game up. And like I said, of course, I will link in the description to where you can pick the game up. But I did play about 2 hours of the game, so I've seen a good chunk, and I've heard from most accounts online that the game is roughly 5 hours long in total. So I'd say that I'm a fair amount in to the game, and there are things I like, and then there are things that I don't like. So as far as like what I think works, at least story-wise, like, it does something different. I don't know if it's necessarily, like, pulled me in, but it is a decent story. like I said, the things I really like about it are like the art and music. Unfortunately, I've got to have the music down right now, but like I said, the art and music are very, very reminiscent of like some of the JRPGs that I love to play and that I've enjoyed in the past. So, yes. Okay, so I think at this point we so I can actually go into the journal and I'll show you guys this. So, explore Sunny Meadow east of Badari. So that's kind of another thing that I like. Even though it's a fairly short JRPG, it always tells us, we can always check our journal, like where the next area we're supposed to be is. So, I like that a lot. I think that works well. I don't know if it was exactly right. I think we actually have to leave south, but we will find out soon enough. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it meant like once you leave the city, go to the northeast. So now we're actually going to get to see some like real fighting. So this will be good because it'll show off kind of the other half of the game. So let's break it. Are you sure? What's the problem with breaking it? It's not even considered killing. Alright, so we broke it, got some Kai crystals. Okay, I guess like the biggest thing about the story that I don't necessarily like, so like I mentioned that I like that I like that the character is not like our typical JRPG character, and the character doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to be killing these creatures, but at the same time, like my kind of my instincts of playing classic JRPGs is that I want to fight every creature I can see. So that's what I've done. So it's kind of weird to have the character be like, oh, I don't want to be killing these creatures, but I'm killing every creature that I can. Mostly because that's how I get experience and level up. I don't know. It's just kind of a thought I had about it. But, as far as the combat goes, it's pretty much what you'd expect from this kind of game. It doesn't necessarily do anything new, which may be like the biggest problem with the game, honestly. So yeah, that's just for healing, so no point doing that. But here I'll show off kind of one of these Kai powers. So, pretty cool. And of course there would normally be like a battle theme playing here, but like I said, no music. So kind of what we're doing here is going and collecting these crystals, which all have items. They're optional. I don't think any of them really have like necessary items, but I've been going through and collecting them all anyways. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, like, maybe my biggest complaint about this game is that it just doesn't do anything new. And I don't know if that's really something to, like, fault the game for, because that's not necessarily a problem. Not every game has to do something new. But sometimes I kind of have this thought, like, if it's going to try and be like Chrono Trigger, try and be like Final Fantasy IV, that kind of stuff, then why don't I just play Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy IV? And I guess it comes down to, if you want an experience you haven't played before. And that's, I guess that's really the biggest draw here, is that this is a new story and set in the same kind of thing, basically. Like, and by thing I mean the combat works the same, all of that kind of stuff. If you've played a JRPG before, you're gonna feel right at home playing this game. It's not too difficult. In fact, I've found it to be pretty easy so far, and I think that's because, like I said, I'm fighting every enemy. So where I'm at in the game right now, on my kind of casual playthrough save, is like I'm just way overpowered. So I don't know. That's that's all kind of personal preference, because not everyone's going to go through this and fight every enemy. So let's see if I can kind of get to where we're supposed to be going here. Maybe fight a couple more creatures. But I mean, other than that, I don't really have that much more to say about it. This is kind of what to expect from the game. I mean, this is pretty much what I've seen so far. There's the story bits, which actually don't happen that often, which, depending on your point of view, could be a good thing or a bad thing. Because typically I'm not into a JRPG for the story. Not that this has a bad story. It's kind of interesting. At least it sets itself apart in some ways from being just like the typical I'm gonna go save the world kind of story. But yeah, I mean that kind of covers my thoughts on it. If you are looking for a JRPG that is pretty much just a JRPG, it's just the classic format that we all know and love, then this is going to be a good pickup for you, I think. It's not going to be the JRPG that convinces you that they're good. So, if you're not already a fan of them, I don't know that I would recommend picking it up. But if you are a fan of JRPGs, I'd say it's a good one. It's a pretty good purchase, as long as you understand that it doesn't necessarily do anything new. But, like I said, that's all going to be personal preference based on how you feel about that. Personally, I like it. A little on the easy side, but I've been enjoying myself nonetheless. So that will kind of wrap up my thoughts here on this one. So yeah, follow the link in the description to pick this up on the store yourself if it looks like something that you are interested in. But other than that, that's basically all I've got to say here. So as always, feel free to leave comments, especially let me know if you have either played this before yourself or are planning to pick it up and play it. Let me know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos every single day, and if you liked my video here, please consider clicking the like button, because that could help me out a lot. I appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.